Hi everyone, welcome to Learn with Karyna. Welcome to this YouTube channel. Based on the cover photo, the thumbnail, you're realizing what this video is going to be about. Just need to say a few words about Tony Robbins itself before we jump into the event. As Mr. Tony Robbins is indeed one of the best motivational as well as business speakers, we're going to talk about this Unleash the Power Within event that I attended in March this year. I truly believe that all the stories that we go through, all the experiences, all the emotions, all the actions we take shape who we are. Let me share a few stories that I know about Tony Robbins that he shared himself in a few interviews, in different events that I attended. These stories will show you everything about this person, will show you who he is. You might even fall in love with this man because like everything he does, he seems like he does it from his heart. So let's start with the first one. Tony Robbins was born in South California, where he lived with his family. They were not very poor, but they were, I would say, like on the poorer side. His mom had issues with alcohol and prescription drugs. Sometimes, based on his stories again, it wasn't safe to be around her. One of the Thanksgiving nights, someone showed up at his doorstep with a bag full of groceries. At that night, they had an awesome Thanksgiving dinner thanks to that person who came with groceries, and that changed his life, that experience. He understood that strangers may care about you, and now Tony Robbins, together with Feeding America, feeds millions of people every year. So this is just about his character, that he's like a very given person, but also there are lots of stories. I don't even know like how to share it all in such a short period of time. I'm just gonna share one more. When the man was 30 years old, he was coaching the President of the United States and Princess Diana. Can you imagine that? Like, I'm 27, turning 28 this fall. How did he get there? From a kid living in poverty to the man in his 30s being like very successful. You can Google, you can find a lot about his biography, you can find a lot of videos where he shares his path, but I'm just gonna share this small video, this small story that shows how determined he is, why he is who he is. The story is that he's living in this family, right, that doesn't have a lot of money, and they have a neighbor or someone that they know who's making pretty good, like 300,000 a year. He goes to that person and he asks, what do you know, like, can you teach me what you know, how to make money, because I want to live, you know, wealthy. And that person tells him, well, I know about it all because I go to different seminars where I learn pretty quick. And Tony Robbins goes, what's the seminar? And he starts explaining that the seminar is where people like speakers, they take all their years into a couple hours seminar, and they just share all the experiences, tips, and steps that they took. Instead of you going through the same path, through the same mistakes for, let's say, I don't know, 16 years, you just go to the seminar, you pay money, and within a couple hours, you're gonna learn all of that person's experience. Tony Robbins was like, well, I want to attend one of those. At that time, there was a seminar of Jim Rohn, one of the Tony Robbins teachers. The price to attend the seminar was like $400 this time, when Tony Robbins was working as a janitor, making less than that a week, and he was supporting his family. So that was like a lot of money for him. And what he did, he went to the bank, and at that time he was living in a car. He goes to the bank and he's like, can I get a loan? And the woman that was there looked at him. He doesn't have a credit history, he lives in a car. That was just like awfully crazy times for him. He manages to still like explain her and persuade her that that's something he's passionate about and he needs to attend it, and he's gonna pay back the loan. He got the loan, he attended the seminar, he started working with Jim Rohn. I'm not sure when he started, if he started working as a janitor there as well or something else. That just shows how determined he was and solution driven, because that's something we miss it in our world right now. The other thing is that when he was at school, he took speed reading class, and he was trying to consume as many books as he can so he can learn more quicker, and he was reading like lots of books every year. That's what also helped him to get some knowledge, to become more successful and to be more confident because he was getting this knowledge. These are the stories that I kind of like, they help you understand who this man is. If you want to learn more about his biography, you can also watch a movie on Netflix. It's called I'm Not Your Guru. And that's about Tony Robbins' event called Date with Destiny. Really good event. I haven't been to one, but I know the stories and I watched that show. And it's like really good. Find some time to watch it. Now let's talk about this Unleash the Power Within event. I have this book with me, so I'm just gonna talk about different things that we learned here. The structure of this video is going to be that I want to tell you and I want to share what we discussed during the event, how whatever we discussed changed my life and the life of my partner, and the insights that I've got from it, and we'll reflect on those. So let's go. The event was for 4 full days, 12 hours a day. We started around 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time, and we were done about 10, 11 p.m. Eastern time. We had some meal breaks. We had some time to go for a walk, like 30 minutes walk. Overall, it was like a full day. I had to take days off at work because I wanted to be like fully committed. I wanted to, participate in it. It was an online event, and we were on Zoom. We could see everyone. There were 40,000 people, of course, not like everyone, but people that they showed on the screen, we were able to talk. That was just like very interesting / new experience for me. Day one was one of the most important days, I would say, because first of all, we started with like understanding why we came to this event. What do we want our life to transform to? Unleash the Power Within UPW wasn't my first like personal growth training, but it was definitely one of the most life-changing one. Basically, we had to decide like why we came to this event, right? What we want our life to change after it. And then we were working on our emotions, disempowering emotions, disempowering beliefs, then creating like empowering emotions, how that would shape our life, like all that stuff. But some of the insights that I got from there, he was saying that you cannot be angry and happy at the same time. So try focusing on happiness rather than on something that makes you angry. The same, try focusing on something you have rather than something that you don't have. That's like, it's not that that's rocket science, and I haven't heard that before. That was just a really good reminder again. Then there was an exercise on creating our extraordinary life, how we wanted to look, what we wanted to see in our life, what people we wanted to have around. A few insights from it as well. One of his favorite quotes is, wherever focus goes, energy flows. Let's say we're focusing on that we're having an awesome day, that we're having like great people around us, everyone is happy, everyone is really kind to you. Or if you focus on something like, there was an example in a movie called Secret, and the guy was saying, well, I'm gonna get a parking ticket, I'm gonna get a parking ticket, I'm gonna get a parking ticket when I come back to my car. And guess what he got? When he got back to his car, he got a parking ticket because he kept like sending his energy into it. I'm not saying that you should park illegally somewhere and then expect not to get a parking ticket. That's just one example that if you focus on something that you're sick, on something that makes you feel bad, you just get more and more of it in your life. There was another one where he said, we all get what we tolerate. If you just don't tolerate bad attitude or bad actions towards you, you don't get them because you just stop talking to that person, or you tell that person that you don't like it and you're not going to tolerate it. Another insight that I got from that day was enjoy and be happy right inside of this moment, instead of like, oh, I'm going to be happy when I'm going to be famous, I'm going to be happy when my blog is going to be around 1 million subscribers. That's not the definition of happiness. Happiness is something that happens right now, right this second. Right in this moment, I'm doing what I love, I'm talking to you, I'm sharing whatever knowledge I got, so I am happy. The other one, when we set goals, when we dream, when we think of something that we want, why some of our goals don't come true and some of our dreams. Basically, there are only 2 ways when they not going to come true. First is when you die. The second one is when you stop trying, you gave up, or you decided that they didn't come true. Basically, what you can do, you should not be putting yourself in some time limit regarding your goals / dreams, because you never know how much time universe needs to fulfill this exact dream or this exact goal. Let's say I need to be famous by the end of 2023, and if I don't have 1 million followers, I'm not gonna try anymore. This is like the stupidest thing. What if I need 2 years? Wouldn't I be happy if it happens in 2 years, not 1 year? Because who cares? That's just something that I truly started using in myself. I stopped putting myself in this time limits, and I will just continue trying and continue doing what I love and doing what I'm good at. Then we talked about how important it is to be in high state energy, because if you're doing something, if you're doing some work and you're just not feeling very well, you're down, you're under the weather, you don't like this weather, you're not gonna get an excellent result, because you cannot get a better result than whatever energy you put into the work that you're doing toward this goal. We have to be in high energy state. And how do we get into this state? I have a few things that we also discussed during the Unleash the Power Within. First, you can get there by meditating. Meditating calms your mind. You're not getting that many thoughts. You're focusing on something something that's important. Energy goes there. You think about it, so meditation helps huge time. You can dance, you can sing, you can jump. Because while you're doing all that, you start working on your body, you start working on your blood, on your lymph. That way, naturally, your mood improves, your energy gets higher. Power pose. Power pose is just something, again, there was a study, I believe, from Stanford University, where students, before doing a really good speech or before going to an interview, they had to get into the power pose. Let's say this is the power pose, or Superman is the power pose. Basically, you have to open your chest, get your head up, you start breathing better, but then you also become more powerful. But basically, from that Stanford study, those people who went into the power pose, who changed their state before the speaking conference or before going for an interview, they got better results. They were more confident. They did not worry about it at all. Then you can also feed your mind with motivation, because when you motivate yourself, that helps you boost your, again, spiritual, physical, and mindfulness to the next level. Focus on appreciation and bring some happy memories from the past, because that will help you, again, get off the wrong state to the right one, where you're happy, where you're blessed, energetic. And at the end of the day, we discuss the human needs, whatever human needs we have, whatever our needs, because they depend, again, on your everything, on your behavior, on your experiences, life that you live, etc. Day 2 was another great day where we basically talked about our beliefs and values. There is, again, a good saying from Anton Chekhov. He's saying a man is what he believes, which is so true, because we all experience different lives, right, at the same moment. Because I am happy right now, I'm doing this. Someone else, right this moment, is going through the worst grief in their life. We are all in the same minute, in the same world, living different lives. And why? Because we experience in the life that we focus on. Then we talked about visualizing and how is that important for our mind. It doesn't matter if something is real or not, because when we're sleeping, we are experiencing the same emotions, we're going through the same stuff. Our mind doesn't know that we're sleeping. Thinks that we're going through the same things. Even if we're watching a movie, sometimes I'm going through the same emotions as the actor in the movie. To show you, to give you this example, let's do it right now together. Just close your eyes. We were doing this thing together with Robbins as well. Close your eyes. Think about lemon. Any lemon. You came home, you wash it, you cut it in half. Look at this lemon, it's so juicy. And now try it. Bite this lemon. If you bite in a lemon right now, your mouth starts watering. Our mind doesn't know the difference. Our mind doesn't know that we're not eating a lemon right now, but it's going through the same responses as it would if we were eating a lemon. That's how visualizing works. And there are also some really good examples. I don't remember I believe there was a book called John Cahill is the author, and the book was called Mind Power in 21st Century. There was an example in the book talking about 3 different teams. One team was just practicing before the game. The other team was practicing and visualizing, and the third team was only visualizing. It was not practicing for a month. Team that was visualizing and practicing got better results than the team that was just practicing. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine how important that is? Then we talked about disempowering beliefs. For example, if you're poor, if you don't have enough money, why is that happening? There is a reason why that is happening. And most of the time, that's because we have these limiting beliefs that we picked up from our parents picked up from grandparents, those picked up from grandparents, etc., etc. And we have to work with those beliefs. That I also liked is that you get rewarded in public for what you practice in private. We all look at those successful people. We start comparing ourselves. We start thinking how lucky those people are and how bad we are. Basically, what we're not thinking about is that those people were practicing in private, right? Or getting that experience, or working on this job, or studying for many, many years. And then they get rewarded in public for what they practiced in private. Again, this is just a really good reminder that we forget about. The other insight that I got is that we have to be grateful for our problems as well, because they challenge us and they help us grow. We might not think about it right at the second, but they shape who we are. And I was sharing this story in one of my YouTube videos. I'm gonna leave the link over here. And the story was about me gaining weight, being like in depression, going through some personal stuff while moving here, immigrating to the US from Belarus. At that moment, I thought my life ended. Like I did not expect any good in it. I didn't know like what to do, who I am. But that's something, that experience that I went through, it changed my life. It helped me grow. It changed me. It made me the person I am today. If I didn't have that experience in my life, I would probably be in a completely different place, completely different person, not sharing this story right now, not going through UPW, not having an awesome job, not teaching other people. So many things, so many problems that we don't like at the moment they're happening, but after we solve them, we are a different person. Day 3, we talked about vision, progress, right strategies, again, limiting and empowering beliefs, and our mindset. I have a few insights that I'm gonna share. A saying from Tony Robbins: create a vision and never let the environment, other people's beliefs, or the limits of what has been done in the past shape your decisions. And I would also add from myself, don't make decisions while you are in a bad state. Get out of that state into a high energy state. Be happy at the moment while you're making this decision. Another one, fear growth automatically. Faith is something you work on. When we talk about work, we do the most urgent things instead of the most important ones. Always in my blog, I do so many things that I have to do right this second, instead of like going and thinking about the whole picture, the whole plan that I need to work on, like writing my goals, writing the strategies. I think about something that has to be done right this moment, right now, answering to customers, etc., etc. Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. And that's a very important one. If you believe that you are bad with money, you're gonna be bad with money. If you believe that you are fat, you're gonna be fat. If you believe that you cannot do something, you won't be able to do it. Whether you believe you can do it or you cannot, you're right in both cases. I don't remember who said that, but it's also like a really good addition to this insight. Day 4, we worked on creating our new identity. We had lots of speakers, lectures. We talked about health, wellness, meditation again. There is an old Indian proverb saying, a healthy person has 1,000 wishes, but a sick person has only one. So 3 things related to health that we discussed is that first you have to stop the poisoning, so you have to stop consuming all the processed food, etc., etc. Then you have to cleanse and detoxify, and third, you have to revitalize and re-energize. I'm not going to be telling you what's bad or what's good from your food, but I'm just going to share a checklist that was recommended for us to work on. First, always make sure that you have a lot of oxygen, and while you're working, because sometimes when we work in the computer, we're working like this. We don't have enough space, we don't have like enough oxygen. But when you're working like this, when you open your chest, you get enough oxygen. That's the most important thing. Then water. You have to drink a lot of water. The power of lymph. We talked about it earlier, that you have to jump, dance to start your lymph going, instead of like, sitting the whole day. And by the way, that's the time for me to stand and jump. I'll be back. Next story. There was a speaker. His name was Joseph McClendon III. I believe I'm saying his name right. He was sharing a story about his mother who was diagnosed with cancer, and he got a call from the hospital. He ran into the hospital, and the doctor is saying to him, to Joseph, that his mom is going to live for another 10 days, and that's it. He's saying to the doctor, you cannot say that to my mom. Do not tell my mother that he's gonna live for 10 days. And the doctor was like, well, I have to tell her, that's what we think. He's like, don't tell her that she's sick, tell her about the cancer, whatever, but do not tell her that she's gonna live for 10 days. So he did not let the doctor tell his mom about it. And he showed up there to his mom's room, being like very energetic, happy, saying, well, I have two news, bad that you have cancer and good that we're gonna cure it. He was just keeping her in this like high energy state. They also ate well, they laughed a lot, they watched funny movies, etc., etc. And his mom cured cancer. She became cancer free and she lived for another 10 or 20 years. Can you imagine, like 10 days and 10 years? That's just unbelievable. That was an awesome story about, again, like something that we believe in, how that shapes us, how this shapes our mind and our identity. Then there was another speaker who didn't have legs and he only had one arm. His name is Nick. I don't remember his last name. His story was so motivational. It was a 20-minute story. I wasn't crying, but I got into such a weird state. And some of the things he was saying as well is that something that, again, like I wrote down and I reflected on it a lot, is that sometimes we think, oh my God, I have to go walk the dog. That's what I'm thinking right now. Like it's not the great weather outside and I have to go down. I have to walk him and it's cold. Or sometimes we think about, well, I have to drop off kids to school, etc., etc. And he was saying, well, when you think about it from a different perspective, that you have a privilege to do it, that you have your kids, you have your dog, you have your legs to walk, you have a privilege to do it. You don't have to do it, you get to do it. That's also like something that changes you when you think about it. I'm gonna tell you what changed in my life, and then I'm gonna tell you about the checklist. I'm gonna give you this checklist, what you can incorporate into your life today, and see how you're gonna feel after that. After the whole event, of course, I changed, I transformed, I started thinking differently, I started taking action, I started showing up for myself, etc., etc. From these physical things that I can think of right now, I started meditating at least 3 times a day. I started doing priming. I'll give you a link in the description to Tony Robbins' priming exercise, where you just do some exercises, you meditate, you go through different things in your life, etc., etc. I started using this app called MyFitnessPal, where you count your carbs, fat, and protein. I also cut back sugar. I did not eat sugar or any white food made with flour. No added sugar. Of course, I ate like pineapple and watermelon because there's sugar in fruits, but I did not have any added sugar. My partner lost 12 kilograms, which is like, wow, for again, like a little bit more than a month. I almost don't eat any dairy, only cheese, and sometimes regular milk and coffee, but trying not to. I don't eat meat more than 2 times a week. These are just the things that I can think of right now, but they changed my life. Let's go to the checklist and we will be done with this video. I know it's a long one, but can you imagine what I felt after 4 days, 12 hours a day? This checklist is called your 10-day vital health challenge. Every day you have to focus on breathing and lymphosizing. There is one really good breathing exercise. When you start breathing on a count of 6, so you breathe in, you stop for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 6 again. And then you stop again for 4. And then you do it again. The second one is the power of living waters and live foods. You have to drink half your body weight in ounces daily, and you have to eat water-rich foods, at least 70% of your diet. The power of healthy fats and oils. You have to supplement your diet with essential fatty acids your body needs, like omega-3 or 6. You have to consume foods that contain unprocessed fats in their natural state, like avocado, almonds, hazelnuts, pumpkins, sunflower seeds, and oils such as flaxseed, olive oil, or fish oil. The power of alkalinity, go green. Consume 70-80% of foods that are alkali forming and life-giving, like green vegetables, almonds, avocados, lemons, limes, etc. The power of aerobic energy, challenge your body. You have to do 3 full body strength training workouts per week. That's I'm not doing, but I have to add it. 30 minutes of cardio, quality cardio exercise 3 times per week. That I do. Make it fun, add elements to your routine, music, friends, change of environment, a compelling race, etc. to motivate you to follow through. The power of a directed mind and heart. Stand guard at the door of your mind. Condition empowering emotions such as gratitude, courage, faith, determination, compassion, and love. Break your pattern and avoid emotions that create stress. Eliminate or reduce dairy products. Reduce acid addictions. Say no to caffeine, sugar, white foods, vinegar, alcohol, nicotine, or drugs. That's not for all your life, but it's called a 10-day challenge or a month. I've done that for a month, but I was drinking coffee, but that's it. No alcohol, no sugar, no white food with flour. I just think that more people have to go to this event. The next one will be coming in July. There will be an offline event in London or online. You can join online and it's like $400. Let me know what you think in the comments. I was kind of like in this weird state during this video because I was going through some of the emotions again. I was remembering some things. It's just different. And I want everyone to experience it. So you guys go ahead, do it. Tell me what you feel. Maybe you've been to this event already. Share your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next videos.